Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. I do want to dive a little bit more into just these final four matchups and a little bit on the specifics because I do think that there are some interesting. I think that both Purdue and UConn are going to be double digit favorites in both these games, right? And I don't think anyone would be surprised if both of those teams ended up winning these games. But I do think that there are some matchup things that can make this a little bit difficult. Randolph, you touched on it a little bit with what you would do offensively for Klingon, right? I don't see Alabama being able to hold UConn under like 90. I think that they're going to have to get this thing into triple digits to be able to have a chance. And well, elaborate on what you were saying before offensively, what they should do.
I just think they're shooting over 50% plus from the floor, and they're not shooting it well from three. They're, like I said, the last three games, you take away that Stetson game, they were 9 of I think 24 that game, and then the last three games they were 11 of 61. I'm taking my chances. They just run so much. I'm not guarding all that stuff. You don't have enough time. I mean, particularly by the time you get to the championship game, and if you're Alabama, they don't have the size anyway. So why chase them all around? You got no rim protection. I'm packing it in, and I'm basically saying they got two things. I'm packing it in. If you beat me making threes, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose because I know I'm gonna lose if you don't. If you're making them, and I give you the inside. So I'm sagging off late contest with guys, and then in the offensive end, anything short of about 15, 16 threes, which I think you guys are underestimating. If they can knock down threes and force Klingon to have to guard and get in rotations. I think it can be interesting. Things can get interesting, but they got to shoot the three ball well. And
Yeah,
I wouldn't play a
we're going
lick.
to see it.
Oh, not a liquor. I would play a liquor man, not one possession.
Yeah, good. I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of the lineups where it is, you got like Jaron Stevenson at the 5 or Grant Nelson at the 5 or someone to try to pull Klingon away from the basket. And I think if I'm Nate Oates, what I'm trying to do is trade threes for twos, right? Get as many open threes as possible by playing 5 out. And if that means that you got to give up Donovan Klingon post ups around the basket and you got to fight for every offensive rebound, then it is what it is. That's what you're going to have to do. You know, you're going to have to score 100 anyway to beat them. So I think that that's probably what I would do is just go super small, spread it out, and try to hit 22 threes in a game. Because I think they actually, as crazy as this sounds, I think they have the shooters to do something like go 22 for 50 from 3. And I think that's what it would take to beat UConn if you're Alabama.
And just go. Just push it. You know, Klingon scores in the post. You got to beat him down the court. You got to beat him. You got to make him, honestly, you got to exhaust Donovan Klingon if you can. You know, get Samson Johnson in there and maybe, again, at least he's not nearly as intimidating. But if you get up and down with Klingon, again, I don't think their odds are great any which way you say it. I just think UConn's so much more talented and disciplined, and they can win a grinder. They can win a game in the 90s if they need to. But, yeah, I mean, that's the only way. They got to shoot 45% from 3, and they got to play up tempo as much as they can and try to control the pace. That's it.
All right. Predictions? You want to give an early prediction here? Who wins, Jeff? I just saw the hat you put on. Are you willing to go all in? Are you going to have the cojones to pick Alabama to upset UConn? Are you going to do it?
I would love to, just to piss you off, but I'm not that stupid. I'm not that dumb.
You know what it would do?
Going with
honestly. Hold on. You know what it would do? It would be hilarious if you found a way in the same episode to be able to give Nate Oates the content that he needs to make everyone in the locker room pissed off, and the content that Dan Hurley needs to make everyone in their locker room pissed off, which would be, honestly, pissing everybody off would be the most on-brand thing that you can do, Jeff.
You know what? I would love to piss off Dan Hurley because I've been doing it for 25 years. So I would love to piss off, and I'll have plenty of time to do it this week. Okay? Trust me, I will do it. But it's not going to be here. It's not going to be now. I'm going all in on the UConn Huskies, largely because I think they're going to win by double digits because that's all they do in the NCAA tournament. But because I really, 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 really want to see a UConn-Purdue national championship game. And I think most of us do. Not named Nate Oates, and not named Kevin Keats in their families and their programs.
Yep.
I
Randolph,
think
give
they
me a
know they'll
prediction
be
in this
favored.
game.
Yeah, I think it's the same. I'm not going to waver much from what Jeff said. I think everybody, that's the game everybody wanted. They've been the two best teams all year long from November to now. We've seen upsets this tournament, but their dominance have reigned consistent. This probably has been the closest game that either of these teams have had, this Tennessee matchup. Both teams have their hand full. I can't see why both wouldn't be heavily favored, and we get the matchup that everybody else was clamoring for. But I do think their styles, man. I will say, I think it's Oaks got to figure out some type of schematically. I just don't see why you'd play a man or whatever. But small ball, he'll do something different to try to draw Klingen out. And we'll see if the 3-ball wakes up for UConn. If it doesn't, we'll see. They've been dominant without it, and this state run feels special. Whether it ends or not, we'll see. But I think everyone as a fan is hoping for the Purdue and UConn matchup so we can get the two big guys out there.
Yep, I'm with you. I think UConn wins. Two quick things, Randolph, behind the scenes from the East Regional that we were at. This is something that I think our listeners will also enjoy. On Friday, the day between the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight, when UConn had their entire starting five up at the podium answering questions with Dan Hurley, our own Jeff Goodman decided to ask the question, describe your coach in one word, and then did it with the word first and said lunatic. And I can tell you, according to my sources, that not a lot of people like that in and around UConn. So you successfully pissed off some people on Friday, but not so much so.
Do I care?
Wait,
do I really?
No,
do you think I care?
News. I got breaking news,
Okay.
Jeff. I got breaking news.
Yeah,
you know this. Randolph doesn't know this. After the game on Saturday, after the win, after they cut down the nets, after Coach Hurley did his whole post-game media thing, after he did the scrum, after he did his hit with John Fanta, after he did his hit with us, after he talked to his agents, after he talked to his wife, after he talked to everybody, he's walking back into the coach's locker room. I walk by. He goes, Rob, calls me over and goes, Andrea Hurley's going on your show this week. And I was like, are you okay with that? It was kind of wild last time. He's like, no. She is going on your show.
He's superstitious. I said he's superstitious. She's got to come on.
We got Andrea Hurley back, baby. We got
but wait. Hey, Rob. She's not coming on for one segment. Andrea Hurley's coming on for an hour. Like, we need Andrea Hurley on for a full hour.
Hey, if you tell Dan how long she was on last time, how long she was there, he sure as hell gonna make sure she's there. Because he's too superstitious. He's gonna make sure she's there. There's no way he's not gonna make sure that she's there. No way. He's gonna make sure. Hey, you gotta go over there.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.